Hello, Seiiti Arata. There is a very dangerous idea in the world of personal development, which is this idea that you can just do anything and everything. Be careful with believing that you have the potential to accomplish anything just by trying hard enough. This idea has been spread for a long time, perhaps with the aim of motivating people to pursue their dreams, to not settle, to think big. But the problem is that this need to be excellent prevents you from being good. It seems contradictory, but if you take a look at this, when you feed in your big dreams, you may forget to take the small practical steps that could already improve your life today. I'll explain this contradiction to you by showing how you can achieve big goals by acting small. But first, let's understand that why this craze for greatness can be a problem in your life. The craze for greatness, this obsession, can increase your chances of failure. Instead of having a big goal, you should prefer to have a series of small goals. Because thinking of grandiose plans can be very interesting. You wonder what your life would be like if you had several millions in the bank, if you owned a giant company, or if you had the perfect body of an athlete, or the fame of a celebrity. Now, we're taught that all these grand goals will motivate us to act. That might be true at first, but what happens next? For almost all people, what happens is failure. We didn't get those millions that we wanted, we didn't become owners of an empire of companies, we didn't become super rich or famous or beautiful. Now, this is quite logical. The greater our plans, the greater our chances of failure. A grandiose plan can get us to act in the beginning. It can get us out of inertia. But the effort to achieve such an objective outside of our reality is enormous. Most of us will not be able to maintain the discipline that is necessary to achieve these lofty goals for long. So the frustration of not being able to do it will bring that feeling of being overwhelmed, the feeling that we're not good enough. With that feeling of failure in the back, we end up not doing the simplest things that we could be doing to improve our lives right now. We enter a vicious cycle. We make grandiose plans. We start to act, but we don't reach that goal. We feel like failures. And then we draw new grandiose plans again, and the whole cycle begins again. The solution to get out of this vicious cycle is to turn those grandiose plans into smaller, shorter, and simpler goals. The obsession with greatness takes your focus off the practical, the objective world. Without practical actions, no dream will become reality. When we are guided by the obsession for greatness, we want to eat more than we can chew. We want to become this mega entrepreneur without even becoming a small entrepreneur first. We want to have lots of, multiple millions without even having 1,000. You want to change the world but can't even make your bed. Psychology calls this behavior megalomania. It is a condition characterized by delusional fantasies and disproportionate self-esteem. And yes, some great names in history were megalomaniacs. They did accomplish great deeds. And we tend to use these big names as inspiration, but the truth is that for each one of these who have been successful, there are thousands of others who failed and nobody knows about them. If grandiose plans tend to fail, we can also conclude that small, simple, and objective plans tend to succeed. So what is easier, to found an empire of companies with hundreds of employees and make millions internationally, or is it to found one individual small business to offer products or services locally where you live? It is easier to stay focused on a simpler, short, and objective plan. When you have such a simple goal, your chances of success are greatly increased. And then you can use that sense of success to chart a new, simple, short, and objective plan. That is, you enter now a virtuous cycle of small businesses instead of being caught in that vicious cycle of grandiose plans that will never come true. And by doing this, you're able to go step by step, little by little, reaping beneficial, practical, easy results that can change your life today on a daily basis. Okay, this may not seem as seductive as imagining yourself as a rich, famous, beautiful person, but it does bring you practical, real results in your life. What would you prefer anyway? To be dreaming of $1 million that will never reach your account, or having 1,000 in your pocket today? Dreaming about what your body could be like after losing 20 kilos, or actually seeing 1 kilo less in a scale today. The greatness of a plan depends on each person. Your plan must be appropriate on your ability to act. Your plan should be as short and simple as your ability to stay focused. The discipline of each of us has a limit, and it's up to you to understand and your own limits, to outline a simple plan that you are able to fulfill. A simple that is simple for somebody else can be too big for you. After all, each one has a different ability to maintain focus and take action. So you can draw a plan that matches your capabilities. I strongly recommend that you take a look at classes 6 and 7 in the Planning Your Life course for this. If you are unable to carry out this plan, you're probably still thinking too big. Rephrase, see what is beyond your capabilities, and make it even simpler. Now, you may be thinking that this is thinking too small. It is not. It is a very pragmatic thought. You outline a plan that is within your current capabilities, and when you fulfill this plan, then you can expand your capabilities a little bit more. And then you draw another plan with another simple objective also within your capabilities. And so, plan by plan, success by success, you're getting closer and closer to a real grand goal. And gradually, with focus and discipline and patience, you will become the person you always wanted to be. We insist on grandiose plans out of laziness to act. The craze for greatness is a sort of a procrastination. Everything that we've talked about here so far is very logical. It doesn't take much thinking to understand that a grand plan is more likely to fail than a simple goal. So why do we do this? Why do we insist on grandiose plans, even though we know all of that? There is an explanation for this craze for greatness, and the reason is the good old procrastination, the mania of leaving things for later that we should be doing right now. Grandiose plans, seductive ideas, they don't work because they distract us from what is really important, which are the practical, concrete action that we can take on a daily basis. The only way to get in shape, for example, is to exercise and eat well every single day. The only way to make more money is to increase the value of the work you do every single day. The only way to learn a new language is to practice that language every single day. And it's quite simple. Maybe that's why our brain is not so fascinated about thinking about baby steps. Among us, let's agree, it's much more attractive to be thinking of grandiose plans to have the body of your dreams than to face the reality of waking up early and putting on your sneakers and go to do some exercise today. But here's the secret. It is creating new habits. It is willing to be doing the daily repetitive work. If your grand plans were distracting you, then now it is the time to do what really matters. Let's act together and create effective plans that will really make your life change in practice. The craze for greatness keeps you from being big because it takes your focus out of action and puts your attention on some type of an imaginary future which is unlikely to come true. The solution to this is to break down those grandiose plans into smaller, simpler goals. In the Planning Your Life course, you will see how to go from goal to goal and then get closer to that grandeur. The grandeur that will attract you so much. Because yes, it is possible to achieve many of these dreams. You just need to stop this craze for greatness of wanting everything at the same time or wanting to jump from success without actually taking real action. For those of you who are willing to act this way, now I want to invite you to start today setting up a life plan with simple, practical, and objective goals. A life plan that contemplates the next practical steps that you can take today to make these dreams come true. Now, you can start putting this plan together right now by attending a special class in the Planning Your Life course on personal values. And to see this class, you can just visit arata.se/planning your life.